Well, it's kind of simple. Life gave us lemons, so we're gonna make lemonade. All right, guys, good morning. So, like I mentioned, we got ourselves a batch of lemons, so we're gonna make lemonade. We have started our trek back home. Back there we have Kaylee, who can't wait to get home and take care of business. But we're hoping, we're planning, we're praying that we can get all this resolved, maybe in a couple of weeks, and then just start again. Continue with season 3, continue with the journey. But this is it. We're on leg number 1 of our trek back home. I am looking to drive today 5 hours, tomorrow 6, the next day 6. I mean, it's nothing out of the norm. It's out of the norm for me because I don't like that. I just do not like driving more than 3.5, 4 hours. But this is kind of important, so we're gonna make an exception, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna try and be home in 3 days or 4 days, and we're gonna get this resolved. But we are on trek number 1, which was leave Vermont. We actually had to go a little north to cross Lake Champlain, and we have now entered New York, and we are on a 300-mile drive today, where we're going to spend the night in a place called Platkill, New York. Not sure where that's at, but that's where we're en route to. Alright guys, so the first leg of our trek back home is done for today. We pulled in here to a campground. It's a KOA close to the highway. We're off Interstate 87. It's called New York City North / Newburgh KOA. That's the name of it. We are literally 56 miles outside, or just west and north of New York City. We drove today for 5.5 hours. It was a pretty drive. I mean, we went right to the mountains there in upstate New York. It's funny because we were in Vermont and we didn't realize we were. Well, I did realize it, but we never took advantage of it for obvious reasons. We were busy with other stuff, which I'll get to Kaylee in a second. I don't mean to forget her in this whole process. But we were only 26 miles away from the Canadian border. So when we left this morning, we actually had to go about 17 miles north to cross into New York City, across the bridge there, to cross over Lake Champlain. We made it to New York. Now, when we crossed over, we were literally on the Canada-US border. We could see it. We could see the border. So today we did the entire stretch of New York, and this campground that we're at right now is a KOA. It's New York City North / Newburgh KOA. We are about 60 miles west and north of New York City. So we did 5.5 hours today. We're in for the night. Tomorrow will be another day. Tomorrow we're going to do 6 hours. So you know how much I hate that, but It's necessary because Kaylee has a doctor's appointment Monday morning. It is now Tuesday that we must get to. A little update on her. She's doing good. She's a trooper. That girl is tough as nails. She's doing good. Lots of pain. She's in some serious pain every time she eats. You know, we all got to eat. So, you know, she cleaned up her diet according to like the doctors at the emergency room told her, but that's neither here nor there. It still hurts a lot. Not enough for emergency surgery. They won't do it. So that's why we got to go back home for insurance reasons. That's a whole nother thing, but you know, live and learn. We learned, and there's something that I have to change now next month. I have to change that in my insurance. But that's the status for today. Leg 1 in the book. Tomorrow morning, we head out again. Good morning. It is day 2, and trust me, by retired and rolling standards, it is very early. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. We are going to hit the road for leg number 2. Leg number 2 of our trek home. Today, well, I'll fill you guys in a little bit as soon as we hit the road. Got to get to work. Good morning. We are on the road for leg 2 of our trek back home. Like I mentioned earlier, early morning. We hit the road early because we have a 6.5 hour drive, of which I don't like. I've mentioned that a bunch of times. But we are on leg 2. This morning we are on I-87, still heading south. And according to my GPS, it has us crossing New York City, going through Philly, Wilmington, Delaware, blah, blah, blah. But our stop today is going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So that's where we're heading, Fredericksburg, Virginia, during leg number 2. What's up, guys? So here we are. We made it to the end of the day of our leg number 2 of our trek back home. We are in a place called Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's a KOA. It's a nice KOA. Actually, the KOA is called Fredericksburg or Washington, D.C. South Fredericksburg KOA. Really nice. Again, top dollar. It has everything you can possibly want in a campground. But that's it. We're here, the end of day 2 of our trek. And let me tell you, It started off, or the plan was, for a 6.5 hour drive. It turned out to be 8. Now, the journey this morning started off at 9:30 in the morning, and we were in New York, southern New York. As a matter of fact, when we got in the car this morning and we headed out, within 15-20 minutes, we were already in Jersey. A few hours later, we were in Delaware. We went right by New York City. Right after Delaware, we went through Maryland. That's where the problems kind of started. Let me tell you something. The minute we got just a little south of New York City, I mean, we were outside the city, we hit traffic from, I want to say Delaware all the way to here, to the south side of Washington, D.C. It was bumper to bumper. Let me tell you something. And the driving conditions, the road was horrible, but it turned out to be an 8-hour day. I mean, when we got here, we have an air fryer that for the last, 30,000 miles has traveled on a counter with no problems whatsoever. It was flat on the floor. We don't know if it works. For those of you that follow along on our channel, know that I installed a washer and dryer, stackable. The top, which is the dryer that goes connected to the washer, it somehow came undone. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that, how I'm gonna tie it down and make it the rest of the way home. So, it was the ride was kind of rough, and I never go above 65 miles an hour, but neither here nor there. We made it safely to where we're at. Tomorrow will be leg number 3. I'm going to go work on it right now to see how far I want to drive tomorrow. I'm hoping to get as far as Georgia. But before I do that, I want to end today's segment touching on a point that, it's kind of funny because I never thought about it, but the question was posed. So if the question was posed by a family member, I'm sure you guys have thought about it. So the question came up on, hey, why don't you just fly Kaylee and Myrna? Why don't you just fly them in and take care of the issue and then fly them back or whatever? Okay, let me answer that question by saying this. We are not bad parents. Trust me. The first thing that came up was that. That was the easiest way to handle it. The problem that we run into is it's not emergency surgery. If it was emergency surgery, we would never had to have left Vermont. It is surgery that is, quote unquote, elective surgery. So we have to go back home to get it done. The soonest appointment we could get Kaylee was on Monday. And that's just for the consultation with the surgeon. Although when he sees her and he realizes that she's in pain every time she eats, I'm sure it's going to get done pretty quick. However, it's a chance that we were going to take. Like I said, the appointment, the earliest we can get was Monday. And then we don't know when the surgery is going to take place. And then I don't know where I would have been at. So, we looked at it and we said, listen, not killing ourselves. We can just, hook up, drive back to Florida, get it done, and then continue with the journey. So that's the reason why we opted to just drive back together. It's not like flying them in was going to get it done any quicker. So I hope that answers that question if you were wondering. But that's it. The end of leg number 2. Tomorrow is leg number 3. I hope to make it down to Georgia. If not, Florida. So day 3 of this excursion starts right now. It's like Groundhog Day. I think the best way to describe it in a nutshell is eat or drive, eat, repeat. Let's go. Day 3. So good morning. Like I said, Groundhog Day. Day 3. Drive, sleep, repeat. We are back on the road today. The goal is, I was going to try to make it to Georgia, but there's no need because we have to stop in Gainesville. My daughter has to take care of some business there at her school, or her old school, or her alma mater, whatever you want to call it. So we are forced to stop in Gainesville on Saturday, or actually Friday and Saturday. So there was no reason to try to make it all the way to Georgia. Today we are on the road. We're going to do about 6 hours, and we're going to be stopping at another KOA. And for those of you wondering why KOAs, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of KOAs. I think they're overpriced. However, if you're doing I-95 straight, the chances of you finding a KOA right off of I-95 are likely. So that's why I'm sticking with the KOAs, just to stay within a mile or two off of I-95. And that's what we're doing today. Summertown, a place called Summertown, South Carolina. That's where we're going to stop, spend the night. And tomorrow will be the 4th leg of this run, and we will be arriving in Florida, God willing. What's up, guys? Just like that, day 3, or leg number 3 of this journey back home is a wrap. We're done. We are where we're supposed to be. I know that earlier today I mentioned to you guys we're staying at a place called Summerton. Actually, we're staying in a place called Santee, North Santee, South Carolina. We are at a KOA again, for the reasons that I explained earlier, in a place called Santee North, or Santee Lake, the KOA. That's where we're at right now. I can tell you this, it started off like it was supposed to be a 6-hour, 20-minute drive this morning. Turned out to be 7.5 hours. Just because I really don't go, I go just a little bit under the speed limit. No need to rush. But 7.5 hours. I'm still, again, I'll express my displeasure in doing that. I can understand some folks that camp, that spend 8, 9, 10 hours back to back to get to a certain location, and then they spend 2 or 3 weeks at that location. I get it. Some people are pressed for time. I understand that. I respect that. Actually, I have a great deal of respect for people that could do that, because, man, it's a job. This becomes a job when you have to do this every day to get somewhere in a hurry. I'm not a fan. This is a situation which is an anomaly. We will get to Florida. We will get done what we need to get done, and then we'll go back to camping the way we camp. But that's it. We're in Santee, South Carolina. We are done for the day. Tomorrow will be leg number 4, and hopefully it'll put us in Gainesville, Florida. I don't know. I haven't done the math yet. I'm going to go inside now and do all my research for tomorrow's drive. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. Day 4. Day 4, early in the morning. I'm out here walking Fernie. Today we should hit Florida. I'm hoping today, that's the schedule. We're hitting Florida because Kaylee has an appointment at, not with the doctor, at her school at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're leaving early. We're gonna hit Florida, God willing. And then the next day or Sunday, we'll be home. But, you know, this morning I woke up, and oftentimes these campgrounds that are close to I-95, the highway, it's transient. You know, a lot of people in and out every day. There has got to be, I mean, look at this. There has got to be 85, maybe 95% of the campground is empty. But they manage to clump. And this morning, just now when I came out, there was 3 campers right behind me. So this is actually going to be a little unfair because they're already gone. You can't see them. But there must have been 3 campers that left right behind me. The whole campground is open, and they clump everybody together. Why do they do that? I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's it. We're going to pack up. We're going to head out. Guys, and just like that, leg number 4 of this poker run, I want to call it the Kaylee Poker Run, is over. We have made it to Florida. We made it to Florida, and you know, if something good has come out of this, once we get Kaylee all fixed up and we get back on the road, if something good comes out of this, it's the fact that I get to hang out with my buddy Mark. I think you guys met him in a previous video. There he is. We are doing the old mooch docking. We're at his house. He's out here in Gainesville, and can't beat the setup. Full hookup. So very appreciative to Mark and his wife Jamie. We're going to spend, like I said, my daughter had some business to take care of at the school, and Sunday we'll be home. But that's it. Leg 4 is done. We got one more leg, which is Miami. Good morning, guys. That is it. Today, leg 5 of our trip to get home. We arrive home later on today. We woke up this morning here in Gainesville, or I should say Fort White, Florida. Woke up to a brisk 51 degrees or 54 degrees. Absolutely gorgeous. It always happens. Usually on move day, the day that we move to another campground or we move to another place. We're obviously not at a campground, we're at a friend's house. But every time we move, that's when the weather gets good. But today's a move day. We are heading down home to take care of Kaylee's issue. She's feeling good, in case some of you guys are wondering. She's feeling okay. I think she's getting used to the pain, which is sad. But she's okay. She's doing good. Tomorrow she has her appointment. You know, but I did want to catch up on one thing. With all the commotion and all the stuff going on with Kaylee, and you guys know that she's been my my map person, we forgot to do, or we didn't forget. It just, we were busy with other stuff and she really wasn't up to it. We forgot to do New Hampshire. Or I'm sorry, Vermont. We forgot to do Vermont. So I went ahead and added Vermont. As you could tell, New York is wide open. We had to skip New York, but we'll be back. We'll be back to New York. And while I'm at it, I wanted to show you guys, that's the map that's been with us since day one. But Myrna ordered a pretty map that that's a little bit more, sticks out a little bit more. I'll add a picture here for you guys to enjoy. And that's it. We'll catch you guys at the next one. I'm going to do a little follow-up. I'm going to do a little follow-up video on Kaylee's progress, what happens there, and whether or not the remainder of season 3 is going to take place. We don't know right now. It's a toss-up. Until next video, guys, you be safe, everybody. And if you're out there traveling, safe travels to you all. And I hope you enjoy this video and everything that we've brought to you guys thus far in season 3. Either way, I'll put an update on what happens.